Whenever you find yourself in the market using your own intelligence, using your own thoughts and your own brain power to figure out an entry into the market, that means it's not time to be trading. That means walk away, do something else, work out, stretch, meditate, eat a healthy meal, eat a healthy snack, drink some water, get some fresh air, run some errands, make a few phone calls, read a book, do some personal development, listen to something motivational, take down some notes, journal, do something, play a game, um, anything to take your mind off the chart. Because trading, once you figure out what you're doing, I've realized, I had this epiphany today that, because it always happens like this. Have you ever noticed you'll be looking at the chart, all of a sudden the chart breaks out, and you know you're busy in admin, you're busy figuring out why this alert didn't show up on your text message or your email. you know I just started messing around with alerts this weekend, but or you're drawing a trend line and trying to label it, trying to get it at the exact, you know price on the chart, you know and or you're looking at these other trend lines and you're trying to, these are things that I was doing this morning when the chart broke out. And so I'm using thinkorswim thinkorswim's platform as well as MT4, but I'm really starting to utilize thinkorswim a lot more. This is thinkorswim is actually the platform that I learned how to trade on. It was the chart that I was really looking at, and so that's where I was spending my time. So the crosshair synchronize between different time frames. So if I'm moving around on the 1 minute, the crosshair will show up on the 5, 15, any other chart that I have up. And then if I draw a trend line on the 1 minute chart, it'll also show up on all the other charts. So I was just like messing around trying to figure out how to remove the trend lines from synchronizing. I want the crosshairs to synchronize, right? I want the crosshairs to show up on all the charts, but I don't want my trend lines to show up on all the charts. On my bigger time frame charts, like if I put a trend line on with a thick width, then it'll cover like the whole candle. And because it's a big, a higher time frame, I could put several, trend lines, vertical lines on my 1 minute chart. They could be 10 minutes apart, but on another chart, they can look like they're all stacked right on top of each other. So it kind of blocks my view. Anyway, so I'm just messing around with that and stuff. And this always happens. Like it never fails pretty much. Or I just recently had some alerts that I've set up on MT4, and there's one right now, and it's like, you have to be really cognizant. Okay, I think I'll stop trying to repeat that word. um, and you have to be really aware, really, self-conscious. um, the alerts will be going off and I'll be doing something else instead of, so when I actually wrote it down, it was like, whenever you hear those alerts going off, you know whenever you get a notification, stop what you're doing and look at the chart. So, I happen to fall away from following that rule this morning because I actually haven't reviewed that rule in a while. And so, that's a whole nother thing. Just the whole organization around trading, organizing your notes, your rules. It's like 1 minute for me, it's digital. Now I'm trying to move it all to index cards just because of, because I read over the weekend or last week, that's like the old school method. It works, this kind of stuff. And it makes sense. And it was something I had been wanting to do anyways. It had been crossing my mind because, trading from my phone, I don't want to be moving back and forth between the app or the platform where I'm trading and then trying to access my notes. So if I can just have them separate, notes here, and then phone here with the, platform ready to trade, that's good, but that's way off topic. The point is if your mind is not free from your own intelligence, your own analyzing, your own thoughts, your own brain power, then it's not a good time to trade. If you're looking at it and you're trying to see, well, that's pointed that way, but it's but the candle's moving this way, and it's like, well, is this pulling back or is it holding, or are we at resistance, are we at support, which way is it going to go? If you can't tell just by looking at it, then it's not a time to trade. Either you haven't done your work, or you haven't realized that after you've done the work and now you know what you're looking for, that's the only thing you're looking for. If it's not showing that to you on the chart, you don't need to be there. You really don't. Come back at the top of the hour. Come back at the half hour, when the top of the hour, when the hourly chart changes, or when the 30-minute chart changes, or come back, better yet, at depending on what time it is, whenever your 4-hour chart's going to change as well. So you're going to have all your charts are going to change all the way from 4-hour down. Come back then, or give it an hour after the 4-hour changes. Let the market set up and do what it's going to do, and get ready and get into the motion of what it's doing, and then come in and see what it's doing. So just want to share that with you. I know I rambled quite a bit longer than I had hoped to, but I hope that you will stop for a minute and really just think about it, because when we look at the chart and we learn it, when we go through that process and we spend that time, when we do that work, it becomes a habit. I mean, I remember sitting at the chart for hours and hours, like all day and into the night, and that was all I was doing. And it becomes a habit. But long term, see, we have to have that long term vision, just like we have to have the vision in our mind of what we're looking for in the chart and on the indicator. And it's like that vision that you see, like what I see in my mind, that's what I'm looking to see in the market, and then I take action. So we have our long-term vision for our life, and we don't want to be sitting at the chart all day, trading. Now, of course, there will be a period of time whereas we're building our account, we are going to be spending that time. We are going to be in front of the chart, like a full-time job. But eventually it comes down to, or it gets to a point where I believe, for myself, this is my desire and what I'll be reaching for, where we can come into the market and we're in and out within an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're good. So hopefully this helps. And if you like it, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can get notifications of all the uploads to this channel. And also share this with your friends. I'd appreciate it. This is Elizabeth Ellis with TradeFlix Incorporated, bringing you winning trade signals. If you're interested, inbox me on Facebook at TradeFlix, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.